Okay guys, here with me today is a DOT EHS-1. Full disclosure, DOT did send me this optic. I did not pay for it for my own money. They also were kind enough to give me this very nice hat. That being said, I love the company. I love the guys that work there. However, that is not going to bias this review. So, again, today we're talking about the DOT EHS-1. That's the Enhanced Holographic Sight from Dynamic Optronic Technologies. And if you're not familiar with DOT, they're a new player in the game, but they've been bringing some heavy-hitting products to market. I'm in the garage today, doing things a little bit differently. You'll see a little bit later in the video, we had some rifle malfunctions at the range. Kind of threw us off our game, a lot of frustration built up, and I realized after the fact, a lot of information was missing from the video. So I wanted to make sure that we circle back and cover the basics. So, you may find yourself in a situation where you're currently shopping for a new rifle optic and you're asking yourself, do I stick with what I know is battle proven, or do I save some cash and go with the new guy and get modern features? Well, let's take a look at the specs, some pros and cons, and price differences on the table. So I currently have the EHS-1 and an EOTECH EXPS2 here with me today. We also used a Vortex Huey in the video, however, I forgot to grab that from Alex before I left, so it's just these two today. First, let's talk about what's identical. Both of these are true holographic sights. These aren't red dots, they use laser diodes. So that means if your front glass shatters, both of these will still work. The reticles are nearly identical. The EOTECH uses a 68 MOA ring with a 1 MOA center dot, and the DOT uses a 65 MOA ring with a 1 MOA center dot. So practically speaking, you're not going to notice a difference at the range. Both run on a single CR123A battery, and both are built like tanks using 7075 aluminum. Now, this is where they diverge, and honestly where the EHS-1 starts to shine. The first difference is the mounting height. The EXPS2 sits at a lower 1/3 co-witness. If you want that modern heads-up shooting posture, either for night vision or just comfort, you have to go out and buy a riser, which will add at least $100 to the ticket. The EHS-1 comes standard with a 226 optical centerline. It is built for heads-up shooting right out of the box with no additional riser needed. Now, I know EOTECH has newer products coming out. However, at the time of this video, the EOTECHs currently on the market do not have Shake Awake. You have to manually turn it on, and if you forget, it'll auto shut off about 4 hours later. Trust me, I've forgotten plenty, and I've had to change plenty of batteries. The EHS-1 features dynamic wake. You grab the rifle, it turns on. You set it down, it sleeps. This is a great advantage for a home defense weapon in a situation where you don't have time to fumble with buttons. Another advantage to the EHS-1 is that it is night vision compatible as a standard feature. On the EOTECH, you would need to upgrade to the EXPS3 for night vision modes, adding additional cost. I personally don't have night vision right now, so I can't comment one way or the other on its functionality. Now, EOTECH has been king for a reason. The glass is virtually perfectly clear with almost zero tint. The DOT is good, just ever so slightly more tint, but EOTECH is the gold standard for light transmission. EOTECH also has a proven track record for being indestructible for 20 years. We know that it works, and we know that it works well. While the DOT absolutely feels rugged, we still have to point out that it is new and doesn't have the history to back it up yet. This may be a subjective opinion, but some say the EOTECH window feels larger and disappears better when shooting with both eyes open. Personally, I feel like they both disappear equally to me, so I'll call that a draw. So, let's break down the math. Depending on where you shop, your prices may vary. If you go EOTECH, an EXPS2 costs around $600. If you need night vision capability, then you're up around $775 for an EXPS3. If you then want to have a heads-up shooting position, add another $100 or so for the riser of your choice. That puts you just shy of $900. Now, if you go the DOT EHS-1 route, that optic has a 226 optical centerline and night vision capability built in by default, has Shake Awake, and is priced at $599. So where does that leave us? Well, if you're after a battle-proven optic with a long-standing history, superior glass quality, or need one to finish off a clone build, the EOTECH's going to be your choice. If you want the most capability for your dollar, if you're looking for heads-up shooting, night vision capability, Shake Awake, and not wanting to spend nearly $900, then the DOT EHS-1 is the smarter buy today. Now, let's get back to the range where we run a couple of tests to see the pros and cons of a heads-up shooting position. Okay, so we're running some fun comparisons with the DOT EHS-1 versus some other holographic optics. We got an EOTECH and we got a Vortex Huey. What we're really doing right now with the build drill is seeing if that 226 center line is quicker for target acquisition, especially at close range. So the DOT is at a 226. You know what the Vortex Huey is?
Oh, it should be a 193.
193. And then the EOTECH, just your standard lower 1/3. Okay, so we're just gonna run the bill drill. Alex is gonna get in here behind this Alex with a shot timer. He's gotta get kind of close because it's not picking it up suppressed. So apologies for extra bodies in the video here, but we're gonna run it and see which one turns out to be the most beneficial.
Yep. Shit ready? Yep.
Okay, you might notice quick rifle change. I don't know what happened in Noveski, but the bolt is stuck. It will not come out. Bolt carrier group is lodged in there. We tried mortaring it, and anything we could think of, it is disabled. So swapped out some optics. Dot is now on this 10.5 inch. It's not my favorite rifle, but I think it'll still work for the purpose of this test. So we'll see what we're looking like.
Shit ready?
Yep.
Stand by. .173.
173. A little trigger freeze on that one. But yeah, that is right to eye line. I don't have to, I don't know if you can see on the camera, my head is not moving for that. So that's real nice for a quick acquisition.
What's time on that? 187. First shot, .96. It was 230. First shot was 1.16. Yeah, I felt I was picking up the Dottronics optic faster than this one for sure. I had to dip down low. I was used to the standing up straight, keeping my head up. I had to dip down low on this one.
.208. I'll tell you one thing. This shoots a lot nicer than the last one I just shot. This thing is smooth, very low recoil. The other one had a little kick to it, but I did pick up the dot on the dot a little bit quicker.
That's a 243. 243? Yeah. Yeah. Kind of the same with the Huey on this one too.
That one's on a riser, correct?
Yeah, it's on a riser, yeah.
But it's a 193 and not a 226.
Yeah, it's not a 22, yeah. I had to dip down low a little bit more.
I could see, just standing behind the camera, I could see you hunting for it.
Yeah.
For a quick second.
Yeah. .164.
164, a little bit quicker than I was with the dot on this one. Now, this is also on a riser, not quite as tall as the dot. This is a 193, dot was 226. Definitely picked it up faster than the Huey, not being on a riser. The dot, I think, was a 20 something. No, the dot was a 173. The dot was in the 17s.
173.
That was in the 17s, that was a 16.
Vortex was a 208.
Okay,
this one is
there you go.
164.
So I got him here for. I can't remember anything. So I think moral of that drill, or the take-home message we get out of that is that the heads-up shooting position is quicker on acquisition, at least at close range. So I much prefer that. I think that's beneficial. We're gonna do some prone testing because I know that's when the optic height starts to mess with you a little bit when you're laying flat, have to get that eye line up. So we'll see how that feels in comparison as well.
All right, we're just gonna go take some prone shots now. I throw my plate carrier just in case, for law enforcement guys, we're running our plate carriers out there and we need to take a prone shot. We can see which one is more natural. If this height doesn't make a difference from shooting from prone. My plate carrier is just a Velocity Systems. I can't remember the exact model. And my placard right here is the RDR Gear MSP placard. These are some badass placards. Shout out RDR. All right, take some shots from prone. I can tell you right now, this is gonna be pretty uncomfortable with the height on this dot. Take a couple shots real quick. Yeah, I can feel the back of my neck just starting to get real tired from like the extra height I get from the placard and the plates, and then having to try to get a little high on this thing. All right, let's run it with the Huey now. See what it's like. All right, we'll be running with the Huey now. All right, I'm getting choked out by this vest because I got to go a little lower now. Yeah, my neck's not as strained as much. I feel like I'm more in line with the gun now, especially with this placard on. I'll get a couple more. Yeah, I feel myself getting choked out by the plates coming up. Yeah, it feels a lot more better on my neck. I'm not as strained out on my neck than I was with the DOT from the EOTECH. Here we go with the EOTECH on this little Unity riser we got here. Yeah, it kind of feels like the Huey too. I think I enjoyed this a little bit more than the Huey, and then probably more than the DOT.
So that makes sense, right? Because it's kind of that in between.
It's in between.
Height.
Yeah, it's right in between.
So prone shooting, the 193 feels more comfortable.
It does. Okay. It does. Yeah.
Now, how often in law enforcement or the like are you finding yourself shooting prone?
Environment dictates it. So
sure.
Right. If you needed to take that under the car shot, or if you needed a long distance and you couldn't find somewhere to get stable on, taking that prone shot.
In your daily activities, what would you prioritize if you were trying to choose an optic for your rifle? Would you focus more on quick heads-up acquisition, close quarters, or would you sit there and think about, okay, I need to also consider that prone shot, or is that just something that you could be uncomfortable in the moment if you had to make that prone shot?
Yeah, I want something that would be quick on target with and accurate with. So far, if I was to pick out of these three, I think the DOT is the best bang for your buck. I was quicker with that one doing the bill drill. Prone, yeah, I was straining my neck, but I was still getting my shots on target. Like I said, your environment's going to dictate what you need to do with your gun. But the DOT, for the money, that's a clear-cut winner right now.
Okay, I'm not in shape right now, so getting down on the ground is not very comfortable, I'll tell you that right now. I'm not gonna wear a plate carrier, gonna go more of a civilian approach and see if that bothers me as much as it did with Alex on some of these optics, but shouldn't change the neck angle, so we'll see what's comfortable and what's not. I can definitely feel cramp starting to occur on the right side of my neck, just kind of, I don't know, it's weird because you got to kind of hunch down, but also get your neck up. So it's making a weird, I don't know. Got to try it to know what I'm talking about. But it's definitely, it's doable, but I feel my neck fatiguing, especially the back of it right now, trying to creep back up this high. Let's try it with one of the others. Okay, now we got the Huey. So this is not on a riser at all, so we'll see how comfortable this is. Not as much strain on the neck. This gun's also just more of a pleasure to shoot than the other one. But on this one, in this position, I can find myself just kind of comfortably relaxing into the buttstock. It just lines up nicely. Whereas on the other one, I do have a cheek riser on that buttstock to try and maintain a cheek well for that increased optic height. So I think that probably is adding to that crick in the neck trying to get up there. So let's see how the EOTECH on the 193 does. I didn't do myself any favors by using a 20 round mag on this one, just to let you guys know. Personally, I don't find any of those comfortable because shooting prone just isn't fun to me. I think I agree with Alex. I think that 193 is a comfortable middle ground. I did just kind of naturally sink into that using the Huey with no riser at all, but I think that 193 does allow you to acquire it just a little bit quicker. It's a nice middle ground without putting that extreme angle on your neck. So I don't know, your mileage may vary. I think it's going to come to personal preference. Me personally, I don't know how many times I'm gonna be shooting prone, so I don't know how important this is to me. It's not my profession. I don't need to take that shot, I guess, until I do need to take that shot. But that wouldn't be a concern when choosing an optic for my personal rifle. I wanna be able to run around, heads up shooting, close quarters. If I wanna shoot longer distance or go prone, I'm probably gonna have a different setup altogether for that, unless I just need to do something in a pinch. Alex has more experience in that regard, so he may be able to chime in. So far, I like the heads up display and the heads up shooting position when I'm shooting. Okay, today,
What a day.
today's a perfect example of anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Didn't really get to do the test we wanted with the rifle we wanted. The Noveski locked up. I don't know how the hell I'm gonna get the bolt carrier group out of there. We'll figure it out, I guess. Sunglasses fell off the table, stepped on those, broke those. You know, in closing, I love this optic. I really do. Full disclosure, I have a good relationship with DOT. I think they're a great company. I love the guys that work there. They did send this to me, along with this very nice hat, I may add. So I did not pay for this optic. However, in using this optic, Alex has purchased his own. It'll be here this coming Friday. So he's excited to use it. So we've been impressed. We both run EOTECHs. He's used the Huey for a while as well. I like my EOTECH. First thing I did after learning about risers was put it on a riser, and that made it for a much more pleasant shooting experience, not having to hunch down and hunt for that reticle every time. So what I like about this DOT is that it's all in one. I don't have to go out and purchase an additional riser to get that heads up shooting position. 226 works perfect for me. I think it just snaps right there. I don't have to move my head any. It's just right there where my eyes are, which is great. I like the design of it. I mean, I'm a fan of the acro. This is basically the acro of rifle optics, in my opinion, except maybe to the 10th degree here. This is for sure a postal box. This is the whole thing. Cool futuristic design, easy to use. Dials over here on the side to adjust the reticle. It's half MOA increments on the adjustment. It is the, what's the battery, CR123? Just like the EOTECH, side mounted, easy to use. It is, you probably can't see this from here, I'll show you in the B-roll. It is night vision compatible. There are plenty of brightness settings. It's been bright out here all day, and I've had to even tone it down. I mean, it's very bright. I'm disappointed with the whole day. I'm bummed about this whole thing. But anyway, Alex, what'd you think? Shooting this compared to EOTECH's, your Vortex Huey that you're very familiar with?
Yeah, I was definitely faster with this one, shooting the bill drill.
Yeah.
I'm gonna love this DOT once I get more time behind it, when I get mine in. The DOT is about $5.99, I believe, right?
I believe that's true, yeah. So it's right in line with the price of an EXPS2, I believe. So you're going to be closer to, what, that $700-800 range for the EXPS3 that is night vision compatible. So you do get that night vision capability. I haven't put it under nods yet to take a look at it to see how that reticle compares. That is something that we'd like to do in the future. But in addition to that, even if you spend, you know, that extra $100, $200 to get into that night vision compatible optic, you still have to purchase the riser if you like that heads up position. So now we're talking another couple $100. So all inclusive in one unit, all built in, saving rail space as well. It isn't quite as long dimensionally. Let me grab the EOTECH. If you look at them side by side, you can see that the EOTECH's quite a bit longer. So you're saving up some rail space on there with how they've designed where the battery goes, plus your riser built in.
Yeah. I like the crispest of the DOT too. It's pretty crisp. The Huey has a lot of blue tint to it. The red sticks out when the blue, but this is pretty nice.
One thing I did notice, just looking through the camera, trying to figure out how to film this reticle, again, something I still got to figure out, is I did notice there is a little bit of a refresh rate on the DOT. I did notice the flickering a little bit. Not an issue at all when shooting. Nothing I noticed when shooting, but it is something I noticed when the camera was looking through, trying to find that reticle.
One thing I do like about this DOT optic too is on this riser, if your picatinny on top is too slim, you have this dial right here just to dial it in real quick instead of having to use a tool to adjust like the EOTECH or the Hueys.
That is nice.
I like just having the dial.
It's actually so easy that it fooled me. So I'm an idiot, and mine, there's a set screw in here that I no longer have because I thought you just cranked that to tighten it, and I sheared it off. But yeah, Alex is absolutely right. When you flip this open you just push, and it makes this screw protrude out of here, and then you just tighten it or loosen it to your particular Picatinny rail. So I noticed it with the Noveske, the Cerakote on there was a little bit thicker than the Daniel Defense rail that I put this on after the Noveske broke, and I had to make some adjustments on that. So it is super nice, super convenient, very easy to go from rifle to rifle.
I will say, if you are in law enforcement and you want to run one of these, reach out to them, and they have a discount code for law enforcement. Right, you have to show your credentials and everything still, but yeah, I'm gonna be running one of these on my duty guns for sure.
We're gonna be doing some more testing with this once the rifles don't break in the middle of it, and once we figure out how to film these reticles a little bit better, we'll give you some more accurate side-by-side comparison. But I think as far as the practical parts go, the bill drill, that's that high speed, close quarters, quick acquisition. The heads-up shooting position was invaluable, I think, as far as the time went. And with this being optimal for me personally, I think it was optimal for you personally as well, that 226. It was really great. Big window, just kind of looking at it, looks to be about the same, maybe slightly larger than the EOTECH. So big, clear, crisp window to look out of. Reticle is nice and crispy, nice and bright, easy acquisition. Very happy with it. Prone shooting, again, it was a little more uncomfortable with that heads up height, and you can adjust that's built in. So it's not something that if you know you're going to be shooting prone or something like that, you just take your EOTECH off the riser and you're good to go. That is something to consider if that is valuable to you. It's not personally valuable to me. So my experience with this so far, again, I did not spend my own money on this. However, I would have after using it. I love everything it offers. I don't mind the price point because it is comparable with its competitors, and I think it offers more for that. I'm excited to see where the company goes. I'm excited to see what revisions they bring to this product, because I know they have some exciting things coming out. So pay attention towards the later half of the year this year. They're going to be having some new products coming out. Can't wait to see them. Can't wait to shoot some content with them. And we'll be back shooting more with the DOT, especially when you get yours in.
Yeah, especially when I get mine.
We'll get my rifle fixed. We'll get your DOT in. And then we'll keep going. Appreciate you guys.